Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're just seeing my face for the very first time, hi, welcome. My name is Adora and you're watching Life with Adabeke. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Don't be the only one to know about me. Let other people know about me as well. If you're watching my video because you're looking for med school related content or help with med school, this is not the only video I have. Please be sure to check out my med school playlist for other videos about how to get into med school, about life in med school, about just how I'm surviving in med school. Okay, so let's get into the video of today. As usual, I have my, trusted notebook. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So recently, I had a conversation with someone who is in the process of trying to, write the MCAT and trying to apply to med school. And, she was having a lot of anxiety about, MCAT testing. Am I going to get the score and everything? So I had a talk with her. And as a result of that talk, it kind of went into the idea of, are you really ready to take the MCAT? How can I avoid voiding my MCAT? And that's why I want to bring that discussion, share some tips with you guys. So if you don't know what voiding the MCAT means, after you finish writing the MCAT, like after that whole 7-hour plus test and everything, they give you an option and they ask you, do you want to void this test? Right? If you say yes, that means that you will never know your score of the test. It will kind of be like you never took it because the outcomes will never know about it. You're never going to know about the score. However, it's still going to count as part of your 7 overall chances of taking the MCAT and 3 in a year. That it counts because you took the MCAT. It's just that you don't get a score for it. So it's not reported to any admission committees and it's not reported to you. I sincerely do not advise voiding the MCAT, especially because most people want to void because, oh, I feel like I didn't do well. Oh, I feel... If something drastic did not happen, i.e. you started having diarrhea or you fainted or you know what I mean. Unless something drastic actually happened during the test, I don't recommend voiding your test. Mostly because most people who take the MCAT don't feel like they did well. Most people are just not going to feel like they did well. It's a very grueling test. So you're not going to go. Most people don't go there and feel like, oh, I crushed it. So you don't want to potentially, lose out on a score that you could have actually worked with, you understand? So, but what I want to actually share some practical tips so that you don't even get to that point, when you're looking at the, do you want to void this score and actually considering it. I don't want you to get there. So this is what I'm giving you. The first one is you need to take enough practice tests. I cannot underscore the importance of doing practice questions, doing the practice tests, actually going over your practice tests and reviewing it. I have videos about how to review the practice exams, how I went about reviewing mine. So check out that playlist like I mentioned. But I cannot underscore the importance. You need to do enough tests. Someone might ask okay, how many practice tests is enough? You need to do at least all the tests that the AAMC has, right? And I think as I checked, the AAMC has, I think, 5 scored and 1 unscored, but someone should correct me if I'm wrong. So you need to do at least those 6 tests, right? But some people use other, companies. Like for me, you guys know I use the Blueprints. Some people use Kaplan, some people, whatever, I don't know. We can get into, but you need to at least have done all the ones that AAMC has. And I don't mean have done it and you did it shabbily or you just, no, I mean you need to have done it, reviewed it, you need to have done it and done it diligently, very, very diligently, because it does give you it gives you a sense of not just what to expect, but what you are capable of in the real exam. I would say like by the time you average your scores from like maybe the last 3 exams, the last 3 practice tests that you've done, that's about where you are. You're about like plus or minus 2 points away from there, you know? So like if you're doing the practice test and you're averaging around a 505, I'm not going to go and tell you to take the exam in 2 weeks when you're aiming for a 515. That doesn't make sense. You understand? So think about it thoroughly, like really do those tests and use them as a predictor of your ability. You also need to not just do the test, but you actually need to simulate the testing environment as well. You need to simulate that testing environment. What do I mean by that? I mean that you know that your exam is going to be 8 a.m. You need to be taking that test around 8 a.m. You need to practice what it's going to be like to wake up in the morning at that time. If you're not a morning person, what it's going to be like, how does my brain operate, how can I really do an exam that is 7 hours long, to simulate like taking the breaks, because you're going to, you know, like taking that 30-minute lunch break. How am I going to feel after eating lunch and then coming back to come and do the biochem section and decide, you know, you need to actually simulate that. Like you need to get yourself in that habit, because sometimes people are good in doing the questions, but they've never actually sat down and done the entire thing. So you get exam fatigue, and then you get to the end and you're like, oh my God, maybe I should void this test. No, if you were prepared, you won't even be thinking about voiding, okay? No voiding here, no voiding here. You need to be realistic about your goals. You are taking, you know, your last 3, the average of your last 3 practice exams is telling you 502, but you're telling me that your exam is in 2 weeks and you're aiming for a 510. Like I said, plus or minus 2. If Jesus wants to come and help you, maybe plus or minus 4. But chances are the highest that you probably get in the exam is 506. Or even worse, you could even get like a 498, right? So be realistic, set realistic expectations for yourself, right? If you're looking and it's not, you know, the test, everything that you're doing is not adding up, wise up, you understand? Like either change up what you're doing or like just be realistic, right? Set realistic expectations for yourself. Like this is not magic. Nobody is going to like magically, you see people, oh, I improved 15 points in 1 month, maybe, but those people, you know, how many unicorns do we see? Like how many, like, let's be realistic for once, you know, set realistic expectations and goals for yourself. So if you're seeing that your scores are not matching where you want to be, don't just look at them and say, oh, it's just practice exam, it's just, no, those practice exams are there for a reason. They are a good indicator, especially if you're taking the WAMC ones, right? Because those are people that set the real exam. They are a good indicator of what you're going to face. You need to polish your test taking strategies. So once upon a time, someone told me, and I think this is, or not told me, but I heard, and I think this is a very true statement. If you are scoring less than 500, you more than likely have a content gap. That means there are like a lot of significant things that you don't know. Like maybe you've not really gotten your amino acids down pat, or you don't have like some of the psych-social contents down, or you know, they are just like certain things that you just like, you have a content, like core content gap. However, if you're scoring maybe in the above 500, it's mostly just test taking strategies. So when you've done those average and you're seeing, okay, I'm still scoring a 495, that means I need to read. Like what that is telling you is that you need to read. Like there's something you're missing. Like you need to go through your test and see, like, are there certain kinds of questions that I keep missing? Like, do I need to, you know, explore more of my biochem? Do I need to explore more of gen chem? Do I need to explore more of the bio? Like, you need to read. But if maybe you're scoring like 506 and you're aiming for 515, that's when you start looking at, okay, test taking strategy. Am I seeing, maybe they're asking me for notes and I'm not seeing that notes. I'm not seeing those excepts. I'm not reading the whole car section correctly, or I'm not like, I'm eliminating answers too quickly that I knew, or I'm getting down to 2, you know, choices and I'm picking the wrong one. That's where you need. So depending on where you are, right, like figure out, do I have a content gap or is this a test taking strategy gap? Because if it's a content gap, you're going to need longer to fix that, right? However, if it's a test taking strategy gap, you might be able to like work on it or at a faster level and be able to get where you need to be much quicker. Last but not least, and this ties into what I said about setting realistic expectations for yourself, move your dates. Move your dates. I know you're not happy that I'm saying this, but you may need to postpone your exam, and it's not going to be the end of the world. Nobody will die if you postpone your tests. Nobody will die. I promise you, like, the world will still be here. If you need to postpone your test from April to June, you're still going to be able to get your apps in. It is much better. And I say this as someone who actually took the MCAT twice, you know, a reapplicant who gave the AAMC money 2 times. It's much better to just move the test and give that test your all and know that you're working in there, having, you know, done your best, than to take it, you were not really ready, you now get like maybe something you weren't hoping for, and now you have to chance taking it again. Don't traumatize yourself twice now, Haba. Just be solid and set those realistic expectations and tell yourself, okay, am I actually ready? Go through this checklist of stuff that I talked about, and if you realize, you know what, I still need some time, I still have some content gaps that I need to close, I still have this, you know, maybe test taking strategy gaps that I need to close, tell yourself the truth. And once you've told yourself that truth, go on the website, go on the portal and move your dates, okay? With that being said, thank you so much for watching my channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and tell other people about my channel. If there are other MCAT tips, test taking strategies, anything med school related, or anything in general that you would like to hear from me or hear my opinions about, please feel free to put them in the comment sections. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this beautiful channel. Once again, I remember your girl Adabeke, and I'll see you in my next one, okay? Bye.